Hello, Leggy here. It's going to be a day 2 recap of my Kinetic Blast of Clustering Necromancer in Trade League, and we will talk about how the league is going for me, and we also will talk about addressing some concerns people had with the build itself, because I had a lot of positive feedback for the guide, and a lot of people been enjoying the build, but there also been some problems with early game, a bit of survivability issues, and there's some questions that I would like to answer in this video. Except that we also go through my current character, how we progress the character, and what kind of gear upgrades we made along the way, and how you can craft those upgrades for yourself as well. So let's jump into it. So let's see my current character, which is 7k ES setup. So I switched to CI, which is Chaos Annihilation, ES base setup, which I think I should have done a bit earlier than I did. But yeah, it's been going very well with this setup. All the ES gear right now on trade is quite cheap, so you can switch to CI rather easily. So let's go through the character. So let's start with the helmet. So helmet's like 400 ES helmet with mana and 2 suffixes. Not too bad. The chest piece I crafted with Essence of Zeal. Just spam Essence of Zeal until you hit the second prefix and use some Eldritch Currency to fix suffixes. So that's 850 T1 mana chest piece that I crafted on a Fractured base. The amulet is Reflected Amulet that I bought, which is very good early option. This is 70 something multi and like 100 int and a bit of flat damage, which is a lot of damage early on, but probably I'm gonna replace this with Whispers of Infinity later, but for a budget option this is very good. Still reusing my shield, which I will talk about later, how to craft similar shield like this. So this is the same shield like yesterday, and obviously I bought the Falbron Kikazaru. I think I bought it for 2 divines at the time. It's very, very good item. Definitely recommend buying it. So that's really good. The boots, I bought the base and click some, I think defense reforge. Actually, no, that is incorrect. I think I just clicked lightning reforge and just happened to hit something like this. So boots have a lot of options. You can add. You still want mana on all your items, right? So chest piece, helmet, boots. So boots is like the best place to have flat mana because the base ES of the boots is pretty low compared to like a chest piece or a helmet. So that's the boots. I'm using Falbron Axiom, which is something that I did not consider before. Using it on CI setup, like a transition belt between like a Mage Blood and an Stygian Bites, or like the Anointed belt that you can get this league, right? And this belt is super good because it's a lot of ES. You get 30% percent ES and a lot of flat and a bit of mana as well, and it has a nice option to mitigate chill and freeze, so you get frozen and chilled a bit less, because obviously it's based on your max ES instead of your life, which is 1. So that's very, very good. So extremely good option. Definitely recommend it before you go into the higher budget options. And for the gloves, it's like bare bones, ES, mana, resistances, rage, and suppress. The wand I did craft very good endgame wand. So the wand is it's pretty very good. So I will go in detail in the later part of the video of how to craft the wand yourself. And the last part of the gear on the character is the ring, which is very, very, I would say, interesting craft, because not a lot of people know that there is this mod that says, percent mana on the prefix of an item, and you can get the flat mana and percent mana on a single item, right? But you have to do some interesting crafting with recombinators to do so. So how do you get both mana and percent mana on the ring, right? So as I said, the mod is here, the Subterranean mod. So what you can do is 2 things, right? If the ring, one of the rings has just 1 prefix, so there's a soul prefix on the ring, which is not any of those I have here. Like all of those are pretty much filled prefixes, right? So they are a bit more expensive, but you can probably find some of those on trade. So you can just alteration spam T1 mana on your Cerulean base, and then second ring will be just Subterranean mod, and then you just slam them together. It's a 25% chance to succeed and get the things you want, which is the base and the 2 mods together. And then afterwards, you can fix the ring later on, but I'll go more into the detail at the second part of the video. So for the passive tree, I am using ES Light of Meaning. It's extremely good. Jewel, I think, is like one of the best purchases if you go in CI, which is, as you can see, like 1.6k ES on its own. It's very cheap right now, so grab that. I grabbed a really good Leafy Pride, which is so surprising to me how crazy Leafy Pride's can get and how cheap you can get, which is 10% double damage, endurance charge on kill, and intimidate, which is crazy. And also it fixes your strength requirements, as you can see, right? So that is good, and the rest of the stuff is pretty much the same. Also go through my gem setup, which is obviously I switched to Chaos, right? So you should. A lot of people were asking me how fast should I switch to Chaos, how fast should I drop, my lightning-based character, and you should be swapping to Chaos straight away. You should get your overwhelming Malice cluster as soon as you can, because there's literally no downside of going Chaos. You just, gain 2 support gem, which is, Void Manip is so much better than just using really bad support gems as lightning, and also it's just less damage. So switch as soon as you can, like level 70, level 80, it's good. So for the gem setup, let's come back to that. So it's Flame Dash, Mark on Hit, Asmark. My Spellslinger setup here and here, as you can see, and we got our custom damage taking Mortal Call, Precision, Temper Shield, and Shield Charge faster attacks. I'm using also Frost Shield. Frost Shield is super nice because it honestly is a lot of EHP when you charge it up and stun in the bubble. It's very, very good button to press, so I definitely recommend using it. And the one thing that I don't see a lot of people doing is utilizing the rage support in your shield charge. Usually people go for momentum. What it does is a lot of times you just shield charge through the pugs, and every time you shield charge through the pugs, you get stacking rage. And with the rage implicit, which is only 1 rage on it, it's not very good. You're not gonna stack up so fast, and you also sometimes gonna drop your rage, then you have to stack it up again. So this is very, very good to help you sustain it. So definitely recommend using it. Other than that, trace other stuff. You can see all the links in the guide as well, so reference to that as well. So for the Kinetic Blast of Clustering, there is obviously the new mechanic from the league that you can add a level 1 support gem. Currently, I'm using Momentum. I didn't have a lot of luck trying to click those things on my Kinetic Blast. So Momentum is nice for me because it just adds a bit of attack speed, and I get the movement speed buff all the time. So I have enough damage right now, so I don't mind losing some damage for the speed, which is good. But I would say the best options you would have would be still Power Charger and Crit is great. Return Proj, Sacred Wisps, and those are the main ones. But if you hit something like Void Manip or let's say Vicious Proj, those are also good as well. Crit Multi is fine, but I would rather use it in my main links personally, but it's still very good. Right, this is going to be the crafting portion of the video. So a lot of people have been asking me, how do you craft your wand? How do you craft your endgame wand for the build? Which honestly can also translate into other mana-based wonders, like a Kinetic Blast of Clustering, Hierophant as well, if you don't want to use, for example, Grace of the Goddess. So you start on item level 81 plus Kinetic Wand base. So you want to start with that, and you want to fracture T1 mana on it, which is 1 in 4 obviously fracturing. You don't have to go for a double mod because you want to fracture exactly mana. So 1 in 4 fractures, you hit it, might take you 4 tries, might take you 1. I got really lucky this league, and I hit all my first try, so that's amazing. But let's say, yeah, 4 on average. So you're gonna be using Essence of Zeal until you either hit crit chance or crit multi on here. So it's 1 in 14 to hit either T2, crit multi, or crit chance. So 1 in 14 Essence of Zeal, you want to use Deafening Essence of Zeal. So that's not too bad odds. However, you can also get unlucky and have 3 mods on your suffix, which is gonna be probably the case in most situations. So then you're gonna have to annul your wand and hit. So here we got lucky, but sometimes you have to, respam your essence until that point. And after that, what you're gonna do is craft suffix is gonna be changed on the wand here. So, and after that, you can use Reforge Crit for guaranteed second mod, right? So we're using Kinetic Wand base. So this is the Control Caster mod base, right? And that cuts all your crit suffix modifiers like spell crit, right? So you can just press it and it's guaranteed, right? So we hit, as you can see, we hit T4 multi. It's 1 in 6 to hit any of the six tiers, right? It's the same weighting. So let's try again. This time we hit tier 4 again, and let's say you get lucky and hit T1. That's amazing. So this is your suffix is done. And after that, you do prefix can be changed on the craft. Right here. Sorry, suffix can change, my bad. Let's do suffix can be changed. And here you have a mod that's filling the prefix that you don't want to have. So you can do 2 things. You can either risk it all and risk filling your item with Veiled Chaos, which is probably what you're going to do early league because it's quite expensive to buy a Veiled Exalt, because here you could also Scour and then use a Veiled Exalt, right? So Scour and Veiled Exalt. But let's say you feel adventurous, so you're going to use your Veiled Chaos. So here you didn't fill, because like if you fill your prefixes, then it's pretty bad. But let's say you didn't fill here, which is good. So we have our suffixes done, fracture, veiled prefix. So here it's very important to craft any physical mod, right? So craft any physical mod, can be for a couple iterations. So what it does is blocks your prefix unveil option, right? So the prefix unveil option that won't have 4 outcomes, which is Fizz outcome, Chaos Pen outcome, Elemental Pen outcome, and Spell Damage mod your group outcome, right? So if you block this one, pretty much guaranteed Chaos Pen, which you want to unveil. So let's unveil that. So if you going for the Chaos Wonder, you're gonna obviously choose the Chaos Pen. You can also choose Elemental Pen. Those 2 are guaranteed. So we're gonna choose Chaos Pen. Obviously this would be a craft, so we're gonna remove it and then craft spell damage. So that will be your wand done. So for the shield, also people have been asking me how to craft the shield, which is the spell block, increased chance to block shield. So you want to use a transfer attuned base, which is the highest base block shield in the game, pretty much. For the end base, that is. It's 1% more base block than Titanium Shield. If you don't have the transfer attuned shield, which is the highest base you can get from Heist, that's okay. Like it's a great base because, as I said, it's the highest base block and also has sub on block, which we're gonna be, obviously spell block up and block up, right? So that's the best base to use, but it's not the end of the world if you don't use this one. So you pretty much just gonna use Deafening Essence of Zeal, sorry, not Zeal, of Loathing, as you can see. Deafening Essence of Loathing, my bad. And that will give you equivalent of a tier 2 chance to block bond. So you have pretty much 1 in 21 chance to hit either spell block or spell damage, whichever one you want. So pretty much spam until you hit it. Obviously, if you want both of those, that's unrealistic. So most likely you're gonna have either or, right? So that's not that likely to hit both of those. You can like settle with life, or you can settle with mana, whatever you hit, it's fine. So afterwards, you either use just Eldritch Currency. Actually, you're not going to use Eldritch Currency. You can use Divines to fix your suffixes, but that's not ideal, right? So most likely, you're just probably going to spam S's until you hit something nice. Obviously, you can circumvent that with fracturing one of those mods, right? You can like fracture block, fracture spell damage base. That's also very good, but that will not allow you to use like an influence base later on with ES and block if that's what you wanna do. But yep, for a basic shield early on, you just use Essence of Loathing, or you can just buy it genuinely from the trade site. That's also an option. But that's up to you. A Cerulean Crusader ring craft that I mentioned before, which is the percent mana and flat mana on the prefix. So the first step would be, obviously, as I mentioned before, the recombine step. So you can go about it in two different ways. So you can either use the PoE2-esque recombinator, which is the choose your option recombinator. So you can just choose those two outcomes, which is, as I said, 25% chance because you're gonna most likely input a ring with a Cerulean base, and the second ring probably gonna be a random base with just the Delp mod. So as I said, 25%, that would be if your tier of mana is tier 5 and lower, right? So that would be the highest chance to get. So you can pretty much, so if you obviously wanna get a better ring, let's say you wanna have, let's say, tier 3 mana, those odds go significantly down. But the thing is, as you can see, like the difference between tier 3 and tier 5 mod is like 10 mana, which is very negligible. So you can get the ring to pretty much 50% odds and another 50% on which basis it chooses. So that is a very good way to just get some base like this. We want to get %ES on it, be done by using a Crusader Exalted Orb. So one thing I want to mention is you can either just use a Crusader Exalted Orb on a prefix, so you want to have your suffixes filled and slam on a prefix. However, you can also craft control custom mods on your ring to increase the odds, which, as you can see, will cut those two outcomes, which is 2.5k weighting out of like 6k, right? So it's much higher odds to hit one of those ES mods that you want, which is honestly, in either of those you hit is good. So you want to hit one of those, which is very good odds, I would say. It's like what? To hit that one is 1 in 7, right? Like 1 in 6. So very, very good odds. And like if you miss, the recreating of the base is not that hard. So that would be the first step, right? So that's the first step of the ring, as you can see. And I have a finished ring for myself already. So I did recombine the prefixes, hit the ES, which is tier 3 ES. And afterwards, you're going to be trying to fix your suffixes somehow. So the best way, I would say, is either using Veld Exalts or Veld Chaos. I use the Veld Chaos and just exalted the random lightning res. Obviously, if you want to get like a very GG ring, you're gonna try to get your perfect prefixes and then use the Veld Exalt or just slamming normal exalts until you hit your desirable mods. But as I mentioned, the first important crafting process part is the prefixes. So you start from the prefixes and finish the suffixes after. So yeah, that would be the crafting part. So yeah, I would say overall, the build been doing very well. However, I would like to address some things about the guide and about people mentioning that they've been feeling very squishy with the character. So I understand it. Like, this character had been designed to have pretty decent mitigation and very, very bad max hit. Like, there is no way around it. You're gonna be quite squishy early on. There's no real solving it with this build, right? Like that's how it is. Like, if you wanna play KB on League Start, especially mana KB of clustering League Start, you're gonna have to pay your price for it. And this is not like the most new friendly League Start for a lot of people. So I do understand that, and sadly there is kind of no way around it. But that's what you get for for your screen clear. And also, once again, you're playing KB, so you're not gonna get extremely good single target damage without investing a bit of money into your gear. So yeah, unfortunately, like the answer is like, why do I struggle with my survivability? Why do I struggle with damage? It's kind of like, yeah, just get a bit better gear and things will fall into place, because as you know, KB is like extremely good mechanical skill, right? So that's what you pay for playing it. And a lot of people also like neglect a lot of key things about like defense of the build, which is like not capping block or having like zero evasion. And a lot of builds can get away with not doing those things, like not jamming through the correct hoops, and they're gonna be fine. However, this build, unfortunately, no, you're just gonna die to white monsters if you don't get your avoidance layers, unfortunately. So that's how it is. So cap your block, get a bit of evasion early. The emplets are quite important as well. The fist taken as either elemental or chaos if you're CI based already. So definitely do that, and definitely grab your endurance charges, and stuff will feel better, right? That said, it's still not gonna be the most tanky character until you go into high level 7 Messlin, which is like 10k energy shield with probably either a Headhunter or a Mage Blood, or like the new Shrine Belt. So that is what it is, unfortunately. So yep, hope you enjoyed this recap. I will try to get the second recap done tomorrow as well. So yeah, we are farming currently towards our Mage Blood. I've been extremely lucky with just my farming strat. I dropped 2 natural cards just randomly, so I got super lucky on that. And yeah, that's pretty much where we at. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I would see you guys tomorrow in the next build update. Thank you.